Good evening, Kiss fans. Welcome to the End of the Road Kiss's final tour. We have 3 sets tonight, our first being How Kiss Came to Be, secondly, Kiss Makeup Removed, and lastly, Where They Are Now. As the band members are preparing for their live show tonight, put in your earplugs, grab your cell phones, and get ready to scream. Let's get to jumping. Strumming the first song into How Kiss Came to Be, it just so happens Kiss was formed in New York City in 1973. Bassist Gene Simmons and rhythm guitarist Paul Stanley were the two members that created the band together. Eventually, they recruited Ace Frehley on guitar and Peter Criss on drums. Kiss is widely known for their live shows of fire-breathing, blood-spitting, and pyrotechnics, and their costumes that consist of leather outfits and face paint have become the iconic symbol for the band. In February 1974, they released their self-titled debut album. Although the debut was not a commercial success, although the debut album was not a commercial success, they still gained a large following during their live performances. The following year, they released their breakthrough album, Alive, and that became their first gold record. Since then, Kiss has become one of the most successful rock bands of all time, releasing over 20 studio albums and selling over 100 million records worldwide. You may know some of their most iconic hits, Rock and Roll All Night, I Was Made for Loving You, and Beth. Such songs helped to cement their place in history. Doing a movie in 1978, Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park. Though the movie did not meet with success, they still managed to rule every stage they performed on. In the 1980s, Ace Frehley and Peter Criss left the band, replaced by Eric Carr and Vinnie Vincent. Eric Carr took Peter Criss's place on drums, and Vinnie Vincent took Ace Frehley's place on guitar. Over the years, the band members have changed, but we cannot forget the original four. Taking off the face paint for our second set tonight, learning more about our prized band members. Let's start with our favorite blood-spitting member, the Demon, aka Gene Simmons. Simmons was born Chaim Witz in Haifa, Israel in 1949, and later acquired the last name Klein when his family immigrated to the United States. He later took up playing bass at 16, and this might come as a shock, but Kiss was not his first band he's been in. Some of his first bands were actually the Long Island Sound and the Love Bag, who he played with between 1964 and 1968. Strumming one of the guitars is our other beloved band founder, the Star Child, aka Paul Stanley. Paul Stanley was born Stanley Burt Eisen in Inwood, New York in 1952, and he was actually born with a misshapen ear due to a birth defect called microtia, which he got reconstructive surgery at 30 in 1982. In 2006, he was ranked 18th by Hit Parader on their list of top 100 metal vocalists of all time. Later in 2014, he was inducted into the Hall of Fame. Well, actually, they all were. Panning the camera to our favorite drummer, the Catman, aka Peter Criss. Criss was born George Peter John Criscuolo in Brooklyn, New York in 1945. He was the oldest of 5 children and raised as a Roman Catholic. His family was originally from Scafati in Salerno, Italy, but he was raised in the Williamsburg section of Brooklyn. The pyrotechnics go off, lighting up our other beloved guitarist, Space Ace, aka Ace Frehley. Ace Frehley was born Paul Daniel Ace Frehley in the Bronx, New York in 1951. He was the youngest of 3 children and came from a musical family. He started playing guitar at 13 and later on credited playing guitar for saving his life. He released an autobiography on November 1st, 2011 called No Regrets, A Rock and Roll Memoir, which entered the New York Best Times seller list at number 10 in the hardcover nonfiction category. Finally, into our last set of tonight, where the band is now. Having done a reunion tour with the original band members in 1996, they plan to retire in 2000, only retiring for Ace Frehley and Peter Criss to leave again. Criss briefly returning, Ace Frehley, however, hasn't returned since. While the band has done so many tours over the years, they can't continue on forever. Doing shows for over 50 years can get tiring, especially as you age. According to express.co.uk, Stanley explains, but we're running around on stage with 40 to 50 pounds of gear and boots with 8-inch heels, and we do it well, but I also know that we can't do it forever. If you're a fan, you can expect Shout It Out Loud, a new movie about the band coming to Netflix in 2024. Recent Kiss band member Tommy Thayer released a statement before the pandemic. Kiss is not going to go away though either. The band is not going to tour, but the Kiss music, the identities, and the characters, and the brand and the merchandise will all continue on. I think that Kiss will continue on in some way. I can't imagine it not. Originally planning to do their End of the Road final tour in 2019, but they were interrupted by quarantine. Now in 2023, they're already halfway through and plan to end in New York December 2nd, 2023. Cheering and saying goodbye to our favorite band members. Although we'll be sad to say goodbye, we understand that they can't continue on forever. Just remember the high platforms they've been on in their costumes and as performers. Just remember the 3 sets they performed tonight, how Kiss came to be, Kiss makeup removed, and where they are now. Thank you for attending one of Kiss's very last rock concerts. It was so bad. I couldn't remember.